I remember one day I was trying really hard to stay calm with my child. I had watched all these videos about gentle parenting, positive parenting, and how we should respond softly, how we should never raise our voice. And in that moment, I was exhausted, overwhelmed, and nothing was landing. I looked down. Then I asked myself, why does this feel so hard for me when everyone else makes it look so easy? Namaste and welcome to the Asmi Show. If you are new here, this is a space for real and honest conversations. And today I'm talking about parenting. Because parenting does not just depend on what we know, it depends on the life we are living. When I first started learning about parenting styles, it felt like I finally had answers. Gentle parenting, respectful parenting, positive discipline, it all made sense. And I did not just understand it, I wanted to become that kind of parent. Not just for my child, but also to do things differently from how I was raised. So I tried. I tried to say the right things. I tried to stay calm. I tried to respond instead of react. And in many moments, it actually worked. But then, there was moments where it did not feel the same. Like that, when my child was completely overwhelmed, and I told myself, stay calm, this is where it matters. So I did everything I learned. I slowed down, I spoke gently, I validated my child's feelings. And instead of settling the moment, just kept going, longer and heavier. And what confused me even more was this. I've seen this work for so many parents. So why did not it feel the same for me? That was my question. And that's when I started noticing something. Maybe it's not just about parenting styles, because most advice assumes something that we are calm, present, and mentally available. But in real life, our brain has limits. When we are stressed, tired, or overwhelmed, our mental capacity drops. And under stress, our brains shift out of calm thinking into survival mode. That's why reaction becomes faster, emotion feels stronger, and it's harder to pause. So, in those moments, it's not that we don't know what to do, it's that our brain is not in that state to do it. So, the issue is not just the method, it's the state we are in when we try to use it. Because parenting advice works best on a regulated mind, not on a stressed one. If I have to talk about the support, in some families, there are more people around, more hands to support, more breaks from parenting, and more space to rest. But for some of us, we carry most of it ourselves. So it's not that the advice is wrong. Sometimes it just exists in a different context. And there is something even deeper. We are not just learning new ways to parent, we are also unlearning what we grew up with. And that does not happen overnight. So, in one moment, we try to stay calm and patient. And in another moment, old reactions come back unintentionally. And something I did not think about enough, every child responds differently. What works quickly for one child might take much longer for another, but most advice sounds the same for everyone. And slowly something started to change for me. Not a big realization, just a quiet shift in how I started seeing things. Parenting is not just about choosing the right method, it is about how that method fits in our life, environment, our support system, our emotional state, and most importantly, our child. So, in my last video, I talked about parenting styles and how a mix of gentle and authoritative approach worked for me because I believe in being gentle and in setting boundaries. But I adjust it based on the situation, based on reality, based on what's actually happening and what's ideal. And that shift did not make everything perfect, but it made things feel more real. Less like we are trying to follow a script, and more like we are actually present as a parents. And this made me question something even deeper. Maybe the hardest part is not parenting itself, maybe it is the pressure to always get it right. So, yeah, this is my story, and I hope this helps you understand at least a little. And I've been thinking a lot about this question, and I'll break it down in my next episode. So, stay tuned. Until then, take care.